You a fan of aliens?
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
They've never done anything to harm me directly, I don't think.
No, that you know, yeah.
That I know of.
But that if they are, they're doing their work very well.
Well, yeah. I've not a clue.
Yeah.
I guess I could be right now in like a pod being researched by an alien and this is all fake. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if it is, I'm having quite an... I mean, in comparison to some people, I'm having quite a nice time in my fake world.
You've got a bungalow. You've got radiators.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I can't complain if the aliens are looking at me.
Yeah. Hello. Welcome to Believe. I'm Phil Green.
And I'm David Ferguson.
And this is a podcast about the world's craziest mysteries and conspiracy theories and missing people.
And missing people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a bit of a theme this season.
From the wilderness.
Aren't we all lost?
Aren't we all lost in the wilderness somewhere?
Yeah, aren't we all lost? Yeah.
This is a podcast about the world's craziest mysteries and conspiracy theories. In each episode, we bring on a guest in that very chair right there. That guest has picked a myth, mystery, or conspiracy they want to talk about. It might be something they believe. It might be something they don't believe. It might just be something they've heard about. And they need two people to find the facts and figures from the internet and try and figure it out with us. And that is what we do.
Yeah, we step up.
Not well, but we do. Don't we?
We do. And we're passionate about it.
We're very passionate about trying.
Yes.
And that's important. Endeavour is very important in life.
Endeavour is very important.
Absolutely. If you enjoy this podcast, please give us a little review on Amazon, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. A little 5 stars would be lovely, wouldn't it?
It would be just so nice. We would love for you to do that. We would love for you to take that endeavour.
Yes. Oh, nice callback. Lovely callback. Well done.
Endeavour's such a nice word.
Such a beautiful thing. It really is. We took George out of the wilderness. And we put him
Somehow he made it through.
And we put him in his little chair where he's happy, in his happy place.
He's happy.
He doesn't like the outdoors.
No.
Who is today's wonderful guest?
The fantastic Elaine Fellows.
The fantastic Elaine Fellows. Elaine is one of the brightest comics on the circuit. She performs all over the UK. She's been tour support for Colin Holt's Death of Anna Mann. She's been a Comedia Comedy Award finalist, Hastings Newcomer of the Year, 2 North Down Comedy finalists, South Coast Comedian of the Year. She's basically been, she's done very well. Is what I'm trying to say.
Fantastic.
She's fantastic. And she's also very no nonsense, isn't she?
Oh, I love her.
And what is the myth or conspiracy Elaine has chosen?
Well, it's one of the big ones. The missing 411.
The missing 411.
It's what you're looking for.
Yeah. Let's bring on Elaine.
Get
out of the rabbit hole.
It's a fake. Every single bird in the sky is a robot.
It's fiction.
You doubt your government.
They're trying to brainwash you.
It's an urban legend.
Like if they're actually spraying something in the sky.
No way.
A stream of absurdity.
It's a total fabrication.
Welcome to the podcast, Elaine Fellows!
What an entrance, yes.
What an entrance. We're acting as if we hadn't spent 20 minutes chatting in a cafe just now.
Yeah. I wish you'd done that as I came in the cafe, just entered me into the cafe.
Oh, we'll
exactly
do that from
like
now on.
Yeah,
Every
room.
building you enter, we'll
Yeah.
go in first and introduce you.
Yeah, that'd be great, please.
Great. Yeah.
Cool.
You're gigging tonight?
Yes.
We'll do it there.
Okay.
Yes.
Lovely.
That'll be a double entrance.
The MC will introduce me, and then you two.
And then we come on and give you the
Great.
proper introduction. Exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Good. So it's sunny here, not sunny in Brighton, where you're from. No, actually, not where you're from, where you live.
Where I live now.
Yes.
I'm an honorary.
You're an honorary
Brightonian?
Is that the name?
Brightonite?
Brightonite. I like that one.
You like that
Brightonite.
one?
Yeah, let's go with that.
I don't know what people
You should
call
probably
themselves.
find out.
Probably should.
Can you be a bright night if you're not gay?
Ooh.
Like I just thought everybody in
question.
Brighton was gay.
Ooh, I have to do a little survey, I guess. Are you saying like if someone's born in Brighton and they're unfortunately having to come out as straight, they have to move immediately?
I think that's right.
Well,
Right.
they just throw you into the sea. I've heard.
yeah. Or make you move to Worthing, or
Or they
I
just
don't know.
become a seagull.
Yeah, that. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory of seagulls. There we go.
Yeah. All the straight people in
All
Brighton
the straight
become
people are
seagulls.
All the seagulls in Brighton are straight people.
Let's do a live show in Brighton, and that's what we'll take on.
Yes,
They'd love
definitely,
that.
They would love that.
Definitely. I'm not being homophobic or heterophobic, actually. I like heterosexuals.
Some of my best friends are heterosexual.
Why the move to Brighton?
Because she's queer.
Yeah, deep down.
Sorry.
Big reveal.
Wait until your husband finds out.
Just wait. Oh, he'll be so pleased. He'll be like, oh God, okay, great.
It'll
Now
be
our
like-
life gets interesting. Why the move? We did a classic lockdown move. I was in London. We were in we were in the 7th floor of a block of flats in Croydon.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of all makes sense now.
Yeah. And we were just like, I can't live here anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. He'd always wanted to. He's from South London.
Right.
He'd always wanted to live by the sea.
Yeah.
I'm from up north, so I didn't want to live in London anymore. But I also didn't want to go back home. There's nothing wrong with that.
Where's home?
Home is Southport.
Okay.
Right next to Southport.
Yeah. Nice. Well, no. Yeah. Fair.
It's fine.
It's fine.
No one knew where it was until all of the horrible stuff happened, and
Yeah, that put it on the map.
and now that's all it's known for. It's just.
Whenever I say I'm from Ireland, I have to point out it's the boom boom part of Ireland.
What does that mean?
Because of the Troubles.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
it's
boom boom.
boom.
Oh, sorry, I'm not laughing, but
No,
yes.
no. Well, you have to laugh about it now. Well, see, Kneecap, that group Kneecap, have all made it
Yes.
very hilarious. You know, like I used to be traumatized by people in balaclavas, and now it's just a fun accessory. I just no. But yeah, the boom boom, the
boom boom
explosive part of it, not the shillelagh and.
I think more places should be described as a noise. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from originally from Surrey.
What would the noise be for Surrey? Really put you on the spot there.
Yeah, it'd be a very bland noise. It'd just be like, oh, that'd be it. Because it's not known for anything. It's just a place, you know.
Well, see,
Yeah.
Surrey,
It's got no clear identity. It's a nice place, but it's got no clear identity.
because it's not a Surrey with a fringe on top. Oh my God, you're so straight, the pair of you. That's from Oklahoma.
Okay.
I was like, there's got to be something there that I'm missing. And I knew I was missing it, and I'm so sorry.
Do you know what? Like, homophobia is just a reality I live with every day.
I think I'm going to get kicked out of Brighton for that. Do you know?
We're going to report you
Get
to
home,
whoever
they've
oversees.
changed my locks.
Actually, now that I've said it, is it Surrey with a fringe on top? Have I just made that up in my head?
Probably.
Probably.
That happens quite a lot.
I am.
You're
I am
also on a lot of
medicated
medication,
right now.
exactly. Yes, we established that. So you're happy. So you spent lockdown in Brighton?
We spent one half. You know the half where you were like allowed out if you had a pork pie?
Yeah.
That bit.
Nice.
We moved to Brighton.
Yeah.
But the bit where it was like, don't look at each other. That was in Croydon.
That was in Croydon.
It was very just the same, I have to say. Like
Yeah.
the energy in Croydon was basically the same. Like, don't come near me, don't look at me, don't touch me.
Yeah.
We had been preparing for lockdown for a really long time.
Yeah.
You were practiced.
Yeah.
But in Croydon, that's pretty standard practice anyway.
Yeah,
and should
exactly.
be really
Yeah.
for the road safety.
Just
yeah.
keep apart from each other as much as possible.
Quite right.
Yeah. So it was nice. We bought a little old granny bungalow.
Nice.
It had no heating, like no radiators. I didn't know that was possible. Didn't have a boiler.
Right.
She just lived by plugging in heaters to the wall.
Oh, people do that.
And they smelled like hair.
Yeah.
Like burnt hair.
Yeah, they do.
Weird. And 2 of them exploded like a week in, and I thought, this is so dangerous. But now we have, radiators, which is nice.
That's nice.
Really going up. Not to brag.
Yeah,
I don't
well-
mean to say that comedy is going well, but I've got a radiator, in every room.
Wow.
I got radiators fitted about 3 years ago
Well done.
in my flat. Now I'm with the council, so it wasn't me that fit them, but they were brand new. Oh my God! I have never loved something more. They just heat the room like that. I have this little sad little electric heater.
Yeah.
And I haven't used it in 3 years, and I just look at it and go, I will never use you again because I've got proper heating.
It's just
Yeah.
like a trophy of what used to be. Yeah.
Like you turn it on, 10 minutes, heats the whole flat, and the heat in the radiators, once you turn everything off, it stays. Like it's
magic.
magic.
Yeah.
So really, I'm with you with the radiators. Yeah.
Really.
There's not enough radiator-based conversation in these sorts of podcasts, is there? I think. I'm glad that we're.
I hope there's some plumbers listening, like, this is my
They love
jam.
this. They love this shit. There almost certainly will be. Myths and conspiracies. What do you think about them?
I'm easily freaked out.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
By real life, as in, or real.
by the yeah, real life freaks me out for sure. By the idea that something could be real.
Okay.
So I don't think I'm necessarily someone who's like really buys into conspiracy theories, but there's always this childlike part of me that's like, but what if?
Yeah.
And that's quite scary.
Yeah. Do you like horror films, that kind of stuff?
No.
Okay. Okay.
No.
So
no.
Okay.
I watch horror films so that I've got strategies to survive. That's why I watch horror films.
That's quite good. But actually, I do listen to a lot of true crime, so I guess that's
See that?
Yeah, there's
You're
no
a
that's-
woman.
Yeah, it's classic white lady behavior.
Yeah.
But again, I think that's to prepare for the worst.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Like I don't know a straight woman that doesn't listen to
got
true
to.
crime.
Just to-
like avidly. I can't listen to true crime because it's like true and real. Like I start mourning about someone I've never met. Like they
Yeah.
died. It's terrible. Like,
I find true crime more horrific than watching horror films.
Yeah.
Because
It's funny.
because it is real. Like it is
Yeah.
stuff's actually happened. So and that's in the back of your mind when you're watching it or listening to it.
Yeah, I don't know why I find the prospect of getting murdered in the street less scary than maybe there is a shadow man living in my bathroom.
Because you lived in Croydon.
Yeah, that's so true.
Save your
It all
justice.
comes back to Croydon at the end of the day.
It does, yeah. Fair enough.
Shadow Men probably
You moved from
originated.
Southport to Croydon.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
pretty, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Shadow Man.
It's fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so the missing 411 phenomenon. Okay, so this is a big one, actually, isn't it? I didn't
Oh, it's
kind of
one of the
realise-
granddaddy conspiracy theory mysteries.
It is, and it dates back quite a long way. It's also pretty widespread as well, this one. So it is quite interesting. I actually didn't know a lot about this until I started looking into it, and there's a lot of documentaries on this one. But anyway, so the missing 411 phenomenon refers to a series of mysterious disappearances of people, often in or around national parks and wilderness areas, which researcher and former police detective David Paulides has catalogued in his Missing 411 book series and documentaries. These cases, characterized by unusual circumstances, baffling patterns, and lack of conventional explanations, have sparked debate across the spectrum, from law enforcement and search and rescue professionals to skeptics, conspiracy theorists, and paranormal enthusiasts. So essentially here, this is people going missing in national parks and wilderness areas of the US mostly, which is not unusual for people to go missing. That's not the unusual part of it. The unusual part of it with the specific people that he was looking at is that it's unusual for these people to go missing, because we're talking about people who are like hunters or people who are very much outdoors people.
Oh, okay.
So these are people who know the territory that they're in.
Right.
And also, in a lot of the cases, it's not like they've suddenly like wandered off. Or in some cases that is the case, but it's often like they've been in a group, let's say 3 of them, someone's turned around and they turn back and the person that was standing there has just gone. And then they've gone and searched for them, can't find them. And then they've spent ages finding them, can't find them. And then they bring out search parties. The search parties scour for miles and miles and haven't found them. That's the unusual thing. And that's one of the common things about all of these cases, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's like without a trace.
Exactly, without a trace, right? Yeah.
Or there'll be areas that have been searched and they find nothing, and then like 6 months later, that's where they find the body. So it's just like, whoa, but like sniffer dogs and like proper searches. So that's the.
So there's no way they could have missed it, but it's there now.
Yeah.
But you're right. In some cases, the bodies do get found, but it is actually very rare they do get found, and that's the really weird thing, because when people go missing in the parks, under normal circumstances, they normally find the body, or they normally find the person, right? Because they're people who go out looking for these, and sniffer dogs, as you say, normally pick up the scent, they find them. These are the weird cases that are exceptions to that, and it is the circumstances under which they go missing that is a really weird thing. Have you been to any national parks in the US?
Is the Grand Canyon one?
Yeah.
Okay, I've been there.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
You didn't go missing?
No.
That's good.
I did think I was going to die.
Cool.
Because my friend convinced me to go in a little plane
Oh yeah.
over.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know that it would be the bumpiest ride ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Biplane.
I have I don't think it's called this anymore, but it used to be called a metaphobia, fear of being sick and fear of everyone else being sick. And everybody in this little 15-seater plane except the pilot and my friend was sick. So I was just stuck in this little plane thinking we were going to fall out the sky, and everyone around me was being sick into bags, and I thought, this is how I die. This is it.
Stinking of sick.
It was on it. Worst experience. I didn't see a bit of the Grand Canyon. I spent the whole time with my eyes closed, my fingers in my ears.
Were you sick, by the way?
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty.
You.
pretty
Yeah.
I keep that in. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll fight that.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Which I think is probably quite unhealtty, but
Yeah,
still.
really bad for you.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of therapy to get over that.
Okay. Fair enough.
But that's the only national park that I think I've been to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd be remiss in saying, not saying about the Grand Canyon. There's loads of areas of the Grand Canyon that are forbidden. You're not allowed to go into.
Yep.
And that's because then you discovered that it used to be Egypt. Yeah, the
Wait,
Grand Canyon was a harbor for Egypt.
This podcast will take some leaps at times.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
There's loads.
What does that mean?
Like, Egypt and the pyramids and the ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a growing theory that there was a large seafaring nation before we really had maps or anything. So like there's ancient maps that show Antarctica, even though Antarctica wasn't discovered until the 1800s. So one of the parts of this is that the Grand Canyon was somewhere that the ancient Egyptians used to go to and mine, because there used to be water in the Grand Canyon. And there's loads of Egyptian artifacts have been found in the Grand Canyon.
No way.
Yeah.
How did they get there?
Yeah.
With boats.
That's a long way.
That's a really long way.
And there's loads of bits of the Grand Canyon that are referred to, like the Mount of Horus, which is an Egyptian god. Like they've got Egyptian names. And the Smithsonian said, no, that we don't find anything that's to do with Egypt there, except they've found loads of stuff.
So are we not allowed there because they're trying to hide the fact that there's Egyptian stuff there?
Yeah.
Why are they trying to hide it?
Because.
That's why they made you fly over it and not go through it.
Yeah.
So the Grand Canyon is part of ancient Egypt.
Ooh.
Yep. It's also where the ant people are from. So like.
I see why you started this podcast now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like there's.
Have you done the ant people as an episode?
No, not yet.
It's on the list.
It's on the list. Okay, I won't ask too much about it
We
then.
haven't done the Seafaring Kings either. We haven't done that.
Well, I'm excited for those.
Honestly, and this is the thing. When you start on one conspiracy, they tend to like snowball into another. Often it's the case with this. Actually, there's a lot of that in it.
Right.
We're not even talking about the ones that overlaps either.
Oh, these were
this
bonus.
Yeah, this is just
Bonus content.
Bonus content. Yeah. Stick it on the Patreon. So the project began when Paul Ides. Okay. I said at the start, I'm not going to pronounce his name wrong. I've done it twice already.
It's a weird name.
It is a weird name.
It sounds like a sci-fi name. David Paulides.
Yes,
Yeah,
it does,
it does.
which is very apt in fairness. So the project began when Paulides, conducting unrelated research in the national parks, was approached by park rangers who shared concerns about a disturbing number of unsolved disappearances. Paulides filed Freedom of Information Act requests to gather official data. To his surprise, the National Park Service did not maintain a centralised database of missing persons, a fact that in itself raised suspicion. In response, he launched a meticulous investigation, compiled cases with striking similarities, sudden vanishings, lack of tracks or evidence, unusual weather events around the time of disappearance, and in some cases, the later discovery of remains under inexplicable conditions. So this is very true. So in all of the cases, and this is true actually, of all of the cases that he looked at, which there are quite a few hundred of these, there are rarely tracks. There's rarely any evidence of where they would have disappeared to, and that's unusual in any missing person. In the case of any missing persons, there definitely is true about the weather events. That's a very common thing. A lot of where these people have gone missing, there's a weather event usually that's happened around that time. And the other thing that, because there's a documentary called The Missing 411.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. It is a good documentary, actually. It's not massively sensationalized, which I thought it would be, but it's not History Channel-tastic. It's actually quite serious, it doesn't over-speculate silly reasons, does it? In fact, which makes it quite boring, if I'm honest. But
more speculation.
yeah, we want it more about aliens. But but what they do say in it is a lot of the people that go missing have some kind of, usually an injury or something like maybe a slight disability or they're elderly or that kind of thing. That's a very common. So there are some common traits about all these disappearances.
The weakest of the herd.
Exactly.
Sort of
yeah.
gets picked off almost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly. And the disappearances seem to happen in clusters, so there's specific areas of the parks. But these, like a national park's right across the US. It's not one national park. It's like every national park as well. But that's the weird thing about it.
And these are huge areas of land. Living in the UK, we have no concept of how huge they are. Like 'cause the United States is a big place.
And this only happens in America, or is it just because this guy only really has access to things in America, so he can't really connect it to places elsewhere?
David Paulides only talks about the national parks and the missing in the national parks in the United States. There are other researchers that talk about it. So there's a researcher called Steph Young, and she got pilloried because she was like, "Oh, you're just copying David Paulides," but she came to the missing people in the Grand and the national parks completely separately, just doing research. And she sort of links it in with other things like the smiley face killer.
Oh yeah.
Which is another conspiracy theory. Young men are found dead in shallow water, and there's a smiley face. The typical smiley face. I'm spelling it differently, so you can't sue us. And that indicates the smiley face killer, which has been, there's no serial killer doing that, but there's all these young men that are in good health that disappear and get drugged and die. And they're not like party boys or anything, you know, like party boys.
They're often not. Because have you listened to any podcasts about the smiley face killer?
I was going to say, I think I actually had on my true crime binge. That's come up for sure.
Yeah, because it's a relatively recent one, I think, isn't it? And I think when they usually find those bodies, that they are in shallow water, but that's not how they died.
No, there's no water on the lungs or anything.
Yeah, and actually, some of these people, when they do find bodies, have been found in shallow water, but again, not
drowning.
That's not how they drowned.
Yeah. So it's possible that this is happening in other park type places in other countries.
Yep.
It's just not all been connected yet.
Yep.
So Steph Young would be the one that would come into that, and her books. So David Paulides, the sort of brand, for want of a better term, is the Missing 411, and with Steph Young, it's Something in the Woods or In the Woods. You know, so like Haunted in the Woods, Followed in the Woods, like that. Those are the series of books that she does, and they sort of branch out from this. But cause she kind of had to back off because it really is David Paulides' sort of brand. But she talks about it as well, and she's fascinating if you hear interviews with her as well. Like David Paulides is very he's wrote now. He's made his millions on this, and
you will make money if you write about this. So if there's any parks near you, Elaine, that you fancy just doing a bit of investigation on.
Like where all the straight people have gone in Brighton.
Yeah.
Well, seagulls, but I definitely will look into it. I live by Preston Park in Brighton.
I know where that is.
Oh, yeah?
Sorry, I don't
it's
know
not that big a park, but I mean, I could have a look.
Yeah, have a look.
See if anyone's gone missing. Didn't think that was going to be such a dark sentence when I started. Start putting posters up. Have you gone missing?
Have you or anyone you know gone missing? I'm writing a book. So while each experience is unique, he identified recurring patterns that distinguish these cases from typical missing persons. So geographical clusters. Disappearances often occur in clusters, many of them in or near US national parks. One famous example in Yosemite National Park, a hotspot with dozens of vanishings. In 1996, Stacey Ann Aris, a 14-year-old girl, disappeared while on a horseback trip with her father. After walking a short distance away to take photos, she was never seen again. Despite extensive researches, no trace of her was found.
Can you imagine being her dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, it's maybe not important, but if I don't ask, it'll bother me. Was she still on the horse when she went missing?
No, she got off the horse to take a photograph.
So the horse is still about?
Yeah.
Like, and so and she would be looking after, like, she's 14 years old, you know, she's a big girl, she's going to be looking after the horse.
Yeah.
Like, she wouldn't have had a prank or, I'm going to hide him. My dad, that's just not good horsemanship or horsepersonship. So she went away to take a photograph and then was gone, you know, and I mean, like, it was really...
It's weird because there's no reason for her to... unless she's taken, there's no reason for her to, like, not be around, or at least if she's wandered off, she wouldn't have wandered very far. That's the and that's the case with most of these cases where they have found bodies. That's not the case in this particular one. Often when they have found bodies, those bodies are miles away, like miles and miles away from where they went missing as well. And that's the unusual thing as well, because they don't really understand why that body would even be there, or why anyone would take themselves to that point. There's no reason for them in most of these, in fact, pretty much all of these cases, there's no reason to leave the group. There's definitely no reason for them to be 9 miles away from where they went missing. Mm-hmm. That's the bizarre thing.
Like some of the people, because I don't have any of the specifics of the names, just this happened and that happened. That's why I've sort of remembered it. But like people are going, oh, they've just gone off the path to take a leak, to have pee, because these things happen when you're out there, and then they're gone forever. Yeah. And it, like, school parties, there was like one girl pointing out, I wish I could remember that. This is bad. I should have had the names. Like she saw something she wanted to have a look at, and she climbed a little bit down a path, and there was her schoolmates were in front of her and behind her, and she was disappeared. Like that's how quick some of these happen, and it's
because even if you knew a wilderness or an outback, you wouldn't leave the group you were with, wouldn't you? Like even if everyone was throwing up around you.
I would stay in the plane.
Yeah.
So with that one, she was in the middle of the group.
Yep.
So presumably the people behind her were looking at her.
Yeah, they saw her. Saw her go off the path. She saw something. That's what she saw something and pointed to it, and she went down. And they're like, oh, and we'll catch up with you like 2 minutes or a minute away. And they got there, and she was completely gone. And this like school trip. I wish I could remember the girl's name.
And
It's
I
not the
guess
same girl that we were talking about.
if you want to go down the route of like, well, in these national parks, there's probably animals, big animals. Presumably, there'd be some.
Yeah, animals.
Something.
remains.
Yeah.
There'd be blood.
There'd be blood,
There'd be clothes that have
yeah.
been ripped. There'd be something. There'd be evidence somewhere. And that the one of the common things about all these cases is that there rarely is. In fact, there almost never is as well. That's the other thing. So even if they've been dragged off by a bear, you'd have evidence of where the dragging.
Drag marks.
You see the,
So just footprints stop, drag marks. There's nothing.
There
No
isn't.
items of clothing. No.
There aren't any signs of that.
No.
Or if there is, there's very minimal. Like maybe a footprint and then that's it. You know, like it's not like...
Because my other thought goes, if I did wander off like for a pee, I've got all my friends over there. Someone tries to take me. I'm screaming.
yeah.
Or if a bear, I'm screaming.
Yeah.
Surely.
Because
Wouldn't you hear something?
You'd hear something. Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
it's just silent.
Even if even if you went 2 minutes away, like with the girl you were saying, you'd hear that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how 2
You'd
minutes.
at least hear a struggle,
Yeah.
wouldn't you? Yeah.
Also in the wilderness where there is not a lot of noise going on most of the time. I guess unless you're near a river, maybe, but otherwise there's not a lot of noise going on.
You're going to hear something.
Yeah, you're gonna hear something. Of course you are.
And a bear isn't going to silence you first.
No.
No.
An animal isn't going to silence. I mean, it might kill you outright immediately. Like a cougar might be able to get you dead immediately.
Yeah.
But that's unlikely.
But then you're looking at blood or
Yeah. So there's...
there should be one or the other. There should be something.
Yeah.
So do we have any explanations?
We have a lot of explanations. So, paranormal and fringe hypothesis. Mainstream investigators lean towards natural explanations. Many missing 411 enthusiasts explore extraordinary theories. So, alien abduction. Some speculate that disappearances are linked to extraterrestrials. The sudden vanishing of individuals without tracks or scent trails, as with Stacey Ann Harris, is seen by some as consistent with alien scenarios, with abduction scenarios. So, obviously, this is one of the wackiest conspiracies, but if you were looking objectively at all of the theories, in a weird way, it kind of makes sense in the sense that with every alien abduction story, people just vanish without a trace. So there's no track marks, there is no blood, there's no clothes, there's nothing left. It's just they've just gone. So there are quite a lot of that. You buy into that one or not?
I'm not a massive fan of that one, but I mean, there is the fire in the sky, that
Yes.
alien abduction, which is a very famous alien abduction.
Yeah.
I've forgotten the name of the guy who was abducted, but when you hear him talk, he went through deep trauma. Something absolutely happened to him and he was taken away. And that was in a forest. They were loggers and they were driving back home late at night and they saw fire in the sky. That's what the movie's called. The movie's actually really well done. And one of them went to investigate it and one of them was taken. And his friends, because they were all loggers working together, they went to the police and said, our friend's being taken, and thought, well, they've murdered him, they've killed him, something's happened. And they those were suspects, and then like 6 days later he turns up and he says, I was abducted by aliens, and it verifies everything that they said and everything. Do you know Fire in the Sky?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's a great film.
I need to watch that immediately.
Oh, Fire in the Sky. Yeah. It's a really good movie. They're trying to make it a horror movie.
It's not really though, is it?
It's not
more
really
of a drama.
It's terrific. And
It's definitely going to creep me out, but
Yeah,
it sounds good.
well, I've forgotten the name of the guy who got abducted. I've forgotten the name of him, but he's still like his most recent interview was with Joe Rogan. I know people hate Joe Rogan, but he's actually quite a good interviewer, and he's talking about what happened to him, and he's not lying. This guy was abducted.
I think whether it's happened or not, he genuinely believes
Yes.
It's happened to him.
Yes,
it's happened.
As in, what? Yeah. He's experienced that somehow.
Yes.
Whether it's physically happened or somehow mentally or...
Yeah, I mean, people witnessed him being taken. Like, they saw him go. Now, what that was it aliens or whatever? But the reason that I bring it up is because that was in a forest, and this is also like in forests and trees
Yes.
and whatever. So
there is a consistency with alien abductions. They do tend to nick people from forests and the wilderness.
The only
Not
thing
from-
is
Yeah,
that I don't buy about this one is that anytime I've watched anything to do with alien abduction in like Netflix documentaries or whatever, normally someone is like, I saw something in the sky, a flash, anything.
Yeah.
But it sounds like these people, nothing is out of the ordinary.
No.
There's not like a change in... Well, you said there was weather, bad weather.
that's true. Yes, there's often a weather event, but yeah, you're right. Lights in the sky.
Yeah,
is
it's
very,
not like
very
there's a
common with that.
flash or I don't know. There's no one's saying, oh, there was a flash of light, or I don't
Yeah.
know, the temperature changed, or
Yeah. There's
It's a
in
weird
fact,
noise.
you're absolutely right. That's rarely the case with any of these stories. And actually, even this guy Polides, he never really overtly says it could be aliens. He just says these are the events around it, and these are the things that were heard, and these are the things that were seen. And of that, there's no report that where someone's gone, yeah, there was some bright light in the sky, and then she was gone. So I agree. It's like it's. But I can see why
yeah,
UFOologists.
it makes sense in some
because,
ways, but
You fan of aliens?
I've never met one. I don't think.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
Don't know.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
They've never done anything to harm me directly. I don't think
No. That you know. Yeah.
that I know of.
But that if they are, they're doing their work very well.
Well, yeah, I've not a clue.
Yeah.
I guess I could be right now in like a pod being researched by an alien, and this is all fake. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if it is, I'm having quite an. I mean, in comparison to some people, I'm having quite a nice time in my fake world.
You've got a bungalow. You got radiators.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I can't complain if the aliens are looking at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now.
If you were still in Croydon, you'd be like,
Come on.
see what you got to offer.
You're hoping for an abduction.
Yeah, at that point I was like, please take me from this flat.
So another theory is interdimensional portals. A more fringe idea suggests that certain locations act as windows or portals, swallowing individuals into parallel dimensions. The case of Stephen Kubacki in 1978, who vanished for 15 months and then reappeared with no memory, fuels this theory. So this is quite an interesting case. So he was a 23-year-old student. He was a very experienced outdoors person, like he knew the wilderness well, and he was cross-country skiing near Lake Michigan. His skis and his backpack were found abandoned near the lake. Tracks in the snow led to the lake, but none returned. So it's one way. So basically, rescuers thought he'd fallen into the ice. They thought he'd died, but nobody was ever found. And then 15 months later, his body was found. He reappeared alive in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, which is 700 miles away from where he went missing. He showed up in a field. He was disorientated. He was wearing strange clothes that were not his. He claimed to have no memory of that 15-month period. He reported waking up in a field with a backpack full of maps and hitchhiked back to his parents' home with an explanation. His explanation was, "I woke up and I'm back." After his reappearance, he finished his education, got a degree in psychology, became a professor, but he's never actually done any interviews about the incident. Yep. Never talks about it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, not cool, but also
Quite cool. Yeah. Because he could make a fortune off just
Yeah.
selling his story, but decided not to. But then, which makes it so much more intriguing.
Yeah, and more believable, I
Yeah.
think. Because what's he gaining from it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's your theory on that one?
Well, there's a number of different things that could be. So like you can sort of split it down. Was it aliens? Might have been aliens.
Yeah.
Might have been that sort of abduction sort of situation. It could have been a psychological break. Now the psychological break isn't such a good one because they literally have the footsteps going to the lake and not coming back. So where did he go? Did he dive into the water and swim? Like that's pretty. Like he would probably have died if he did that.
Yes.
But maybe he didn't. Or he walked through a dimension, or he was kidnapped. Like there's a lot of. I'm a big fan of maybe it's not the right word, of MK Ultra and people being programmed and experimented on. I think that does happen. I think we see that. You know, the JFK wasn't shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. Do you know what I mean? And that was in the 60s, and we've come a long way since then. Like the assassin, the family of Martin Luther King Jr. do not believe the person that was in prison for assassinating him killed him. Like that. Like they spoke at his trial in his defense. So because there was other things going on. So like United States is a big country, and gosh, you know, if there were only some assassinations that had happened recently that we could talk about, but you know,
Too soon.
And my God, like it's just the way. Like that, these things keep on happening.
Yeah, they do.
You know, and so, but in order to keep that happening, you know, that there needs to be like patsies, there needs to be programming, there needs to be situations. You know, like the kid that shot at Trump before he became president for the second time. We know nothing about him. Why not? That surely should be something that should be all over the news.
Yeah.
But also, does he look like someone that would try to kill someone? Like, I know you can't judge a book by its cover, but it all feels very strange. And I think something like this, maybe this kid was kidnapped and like 23, young man in his prime, but the programming didn't keep,
But then he would have had to have been an MK Ultra. It would have had to be pre-programmed. Or do you think they kidnapped him and then programmed him?
And then programmed it, and it just didn't work. Like if you watch,
Released him.
Yeah, so if you watch like this is in the zeitgeist anyway. Like there's a Warren Beatty movie called The Parallax View, and it's all about patsies and MK Ultra and all that, and it's a decent film. And
I like you said, it's in the zeitgeist. I'm guessing this is about 30 years old at least.
This is 1973.
Okay,
Parallax View. But my
That zeitgeist.
Yeah.
But my point is the idea that people were programmed and tricked into being a political assassins or whatever, because that's what The Parallax View is about. And it's a good movie, but like a more recent movie, A Long Kiss Goodnight.
Yeah.
Which is such a good movie.
Great
I haven't
film.
seen that
I
either.
didn't see that.
Oh yeah. And they talk about this event where they would maybe destroy the Twin Towers in a terrorist event and
They
blame the
do.
Muslims.
Yeah.
And it came out in 1997.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Like
Is it The Simpsons that always predicts everything?
Yeah.
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 That always freaks me out too.
Yeah.
So with this guy, maybe there's no foot, or maybe there was footprints, but they've got rid of them because it is the people investigating and the people taking. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, he was kidnapped for something, and that's why I won't talk about it. Maybe he was given the choice. Well, like
You can
we
go
kill-
home, but you can never say
you
it.
can never speak about it.
But why would they be there to kidnap him? That's what I don't understand. They're like, well, just hang around in the middle of nowhere, and if somebody pops in, we'll just take them.
Who knows?
Or is it possible that he stumbled across something he shouldn't have? So he was in an area they were already in, and then they were like, well, look, opportunity knocks, let's take him
Yeah.
and see what we can
Yeah.
do with him.
He'll do
Because you
it.
said he was a skier, right?
Yeah, cross-country skiing, yeah.
I guess so. He's very fit, very
Yep.
Maybe they needed that
Yeah.
area of expertise. There's not that many cross-country skiers. Certainly not in the 70s.
But this was maybe about interdimensional travel.
Possibly.
Is that how we began? Have you watched Dark?
No.
Oh, the Netflix
The German show.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard
That's-
good things.
That is really good, but that's kind of that. So they how do I not ruin the whole show? They basically
They go through.
go through like a
Dimension.
cave type thing, and it takes them into a different dimension.
Okay.
I didn't think about this when you asked me about conspiracy theories, but this I could be borderline obsessed
Right.
Because for some reason, this feels to me possible. Because the universe is never ending, right?
Yeah.
So we can't prove that isn't the case. It just seems impossible to me that wouldn't be the case. Surely this isn't the only reality. Please don't let this be the only reality.
Even if this even is reality.
Well, if it is,
Yeah.
We're a computer simulation.
yeah, but there must be. I just think there must be. So surely at times someone accidentally falls through to somewhere else or is taken through to somewhere else. That makes more sense to me than aliens.
Like I like the dimensional portal thing. There were all these different realities happening at once.
Stargates.
Stargates.
There's also Dark Matter on. I'm just advertising other shows now, but that's again about
Yep.
the box going into.
And there's also
that.
when I was growing up, my grandmother used to say to me, "Never climb upstairs in a forest." And have you ever? This is a phenomenon of seeing a flight of stairs in a forest. So what
a naturally formed flight of stairs?
No, not it's like what's happened is there's been a house there at one point, and everything
Okay.
else has rotted away and fallen away, and there's stairs.
Right.
But this is like going back, don't climb upstairs or don't go through a doorway in a forest.
I mean, I don't think I would do that anyway.
Right? It's just scary.
Very
No, I
Blair
just
Witch.
remembered. What does it? I did do that in Thailand. There's like a peace garden type thing, and that has a stone stairway to nowhere. It's not quite. I would say it's more like it's more jungly than it is woods. Does that? Am I in the wrong? I'm in the wrong
Think you're on the wrong
dimension
place.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
well,
But you went up the stairs.
I went up the stairs.
Yeah.
Wonder what's going to happen to me, or what's already happened to
When you
me.
go into another dimension, when you go into the fairy realm, don't eat the food
Why?
Why?
because that means you're trapped there.
Oh, like Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Right.
Eat the
Okay.
food. Very good. Yeah. Don't eat the food. Like Persephone in Hades, the reason that she has to go back to the underworld is because she takes a pomegranate seed.
Oh, not even a good food. She didn't even get like an Oreo.
That
She
was one.
had a pomegranate seed.
Yeah.
She's still hungry.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's not
you'd
gonna
be
sustain
annoyed.
you.
If you watch Pan's Labyrinth, the reason things start kicking off in the fairy world is because she eats some of the food.
Yeah.
You know, the blind, the guy with the
Yeah.
he doesn't go crazy and doesn't kill everybody until she eats something.
Right.
And that's because
Gee, there's a lot of now I think about it. There's quite a lot of food related things that take you to somewhere else. But the first thing that I thought of was, in Hook, when that's the first time that he sees their imaginary play is when they have the food fight.
Yeah.
Something about food of taking you into a different or permanently putting you into a different state.
I love that scene in Hook.
Such a good scene.
It's really good.
I love Hook.
I
as
love
well.
Such a good film.
Right, okay. And then everyone
Okay,
says
rest
it's,
of the podcast.
it's a terrible movie. I go, I love it. I love
Who says it's a terrible movie?
Yeah.
I remember seeing it as a kid. It was a flop and everything, and it was the beginning of
They're all wrong.
Julia Roberts saying that she was terrible, and Spielberg saying she was hard to work with and stuff. Which, but I love her saying.
Well, Spielberg doesn't like it, does he? Because he made it in between Jurassic Park and Schindler's List, and he's not happy with it. But I think the thing is, I do wonder how much of it is it a good film, or are we just nostalgic for it?
It's a great film.
It's a great film.
I'm going to say something now that is going to get me cancelled. It's better than Jurassic Park.
I agree.
You heard it here.
I prefer the book of Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park's fine.
Yeah.
There you go.
I do love Lorna.
Okay, that's the most controversial thing that's ever been said on this podcast.
Wow. Yes.
It's better than Jurassic Park.
It is. It just is. It's a better film, in my opinion.
Is that because you're more a fan of fairies than you are of dinosaurs?
I think so.
Yeah.
And just, I just think it's more complex. Like the characters are more, there's more emotion like going on.
Yeah.
I just find it more fulfilling.
It's a great film. It is a great film.
I'll never work again after that.
Dustin Hoffman is having the
Dustin
time of his
Hoffman
life.
is loving life.
Julia Roberts, like the bit where she becomes full size to speak.
Yeah.
I love that scene so much. I love it because she's, I know. Anyway, where do we
Sorry,
talk about the missing
really went
411?
on.
Anyway, okay, so the theories, the sort of more conventional theories as to how Thomas Kubacki, this is the guy that went missing, he may have suffered a fugue state, which is a rare psychological condition where a person forgets their identity and may travel far from home. I mean, 700 miles is a long way, but I guess he did have 50 months to get there. Hypothermia could have triggered disorientation, although it cannot explain his survival for 50 months if he had had hypothermia. Others suggest he deliberately left to start a new life, but later chose to return, although this doesn't explain his fragmented memory. That bit, I thought...
Well, he could be lying about
exactly.
his
That's exactly what
fragmented memory.
I thought. Because maybe he did go and he went, oh yeah, I'm back now. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Why don't you want to talk about Thomas?
His mum's like, even just a tiny bit, please.
15 months. Where the fuck have you been?
Yeah.
What do you think with that one?
I think he's genuine. I think his memory problems were for real. It wasn't just him going, "Hey, I don't want to talk about it." Because that's a different vibe.
It is interesting that he went on to study psychology and became a professor in that. That is quite interesting.
Because of the whole MK Ultra thing.
That's why, is it? Okay.
We're the only ones talking about the MK Ultra angle to this. Like, I appreciate, gosh, anybody that's clued into it will come into this episode looking for.
Yeah, I mean, Elaine Crowbard hook into this somehow. So, you might as well come with
You're
MK
also welcome.
Throw whatever you wanted. So paranormal interdimensional enthusiasts point to the Lake Michigan Triangle, an area known for mysterious vanishings, proposing he slipped into an alternative dimension or time anomaly. So this is kind of what you were saying, basically. Is that right? Around Lake Michigan, they have a...
Yeah, the United States is full of them. There's also there's a tunnel system underneath what is effectively the national parks in the United States.
Which is how famous people get around.
And it's how famous people get around, but also it's how people go missing, sinkholes and stuff.
See, that makes some sense
Yeah.
as to how some of these people might have gone missing.
Oh, they just fell into a sinkhole.
They fell into a sinkhole, yeah.
Yeah, because there are tunnels like that is a known thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to talk about weird reasons why the 411 happens, I love the idea of feral people, people in the Alapachik Mountains, and they're off the grid. They're human beings, but they're
They're living more like caveman type existence.
I mean, there's definitely people that live off the grid and not in a survivalist way. But
even if they took these people, there would surely still be some remnants. There'd be some track, something. Because you'd see their own tracks, wouldn't you? Even if they pick that person up and carry them away, there would still be some sort of trace of them.
You would think.
Yeah.
Or again, a scream.
Yeah. Or it's Bigfoot.
Well, I was going to come on to that because that is the next theory.
Oh, Bigfoot comes into this.
Bigfoot comes into this.
That's why I'm aware of this.
Yeah. So cryptids generally. So Polite's earlier research into Bigfoot has led some to connect these disappearances with cryptid attacks. Stories of people being carried off and children found in locations seemingly unreachable echo folkloric accounts of wild creatures or forest beings. So there is some audio recordings from I think it's a group of either campers or huntsmen from like the 70s who went up with audio equipment looking for someone who went missing, and they are recording sounds of some creature within the forest, and experts listen to this, and their prediction is that this whatever creature they are hearing is at least 7 or 8 feet tall. It is
How do they know that just from sound?
yeah, I don't know that, but
Okay.
they're experts in this apparently. And so, this isn't a sensationalized bit of evidence. This is an actual report. But it could be any creature. It could be anything. Really, it could be a bear. But they're saying that's what they're saying is that there is definitely a quite a big following of people who believe in cryptids and believe these issues, and they are just taking people. Again, though. I still
be
think
footprints.
there'll still be footprints. Yeah.
Massive ones.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
His name is Bigfoot.
That is,
Like-
it is in the name.
Massive clue.
Yeah. Although I think he hates that name.
You think that's his? Only my mum calls me that.
Yeah. It's like, can you stop going on my feet? My name's Steve. What do you think?
Well, I'm very interested in that. There are children that went. I believe in Bigfoot. Sasquatch.
Oh, Bigfoot. I was going to say, is Sasquatch the same as Bigfoot?
So there's the Bigfoot is just the generic term for.
Okay.
But like in North America, like in Canada, it would be Sasquatch, which is 7 to 10 foot tall, a big creature. But then you come further down, like you have the Florida skunk ape, which is a smaller version, and there's photographs of that, and there's hobbit-sized ones, and there's various creatures like in Russia it's the Alma, in the Himalayas it's the Yeti. Like it's the wild man of the forest has been seen all around the world, and could be associated with the taking of children and whatever. There's a number of especially children being stolen that have gone missing. That there was this massive person seen running away. Now that could be a real person as in a human being doing nefarious things with children, because we know that no one likes children in this world, unfortunately. But the idea that Bigfoot is the person taking them. There are one of the earliest Bigfoot stories is I've forgotten the name of the man. My God, I'm not good at this. But the guy that was taken by the Bigfoot family.
Oh yeah.
The one I'm talking about,
Yeah.
the Bigfoot family, and he gets away by giving some of his snuff,
basically.
yeah, to the Sasquatch, and that's how he gets away. And he didn't report this till like 40 years after it happened, but it was documented. He had shown up in a village, disheveled and just his underwear, and
He drugged a family of Bigfoots.
yeah.
Quite funny.
It's quite funny, isn't it?
But they lifted him up in his sleeping bag, and
Oh God, that must have been terrifying. You might have already said this and I missed it. Actually, also I should have asked this at the start. The missing 411,
Yeah.
is that because 411 people went missing?
No, the 411 is it's a number that people call in the US for
like
directory
911.
information. Like 911, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the 411 is like an explanation. So
Okay.
it's a way of saying 411 is like
Give me the download.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, no, I have heard that actually on
Yeah.
like old 90s shows.
Yeah.
I think Mary J. Blige had an album called "What's the 411." I might have that wrong. There's an album called "What's the
It
411."
just adds to the mystique. It's just
Yeah,
cool.
nice.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And then of the people that went missing,
Yeah.
are lots of them children? Or
Not
Not
that
particularly.
many. No, not that many.
Okay.
There are a few, but not that many. And actually, often with the children that went missing, there's one actually that was something like 17 miles away from, because they found the body and it was like 17 miles away from where
No,
the
they
kid went.
found him. They found the child alive.
So you're right, they did find the child alive, but it was actually maybe it was 9 miles away, but at an altitude that I think it was 2 or 3 year old, a child of that size, it would almost be physically impossible for them to get to that because of the terrain they would have had to go over, like rocks and mountains, and a child of that size. So that was one of the weird things about it. Is like, how did the kid end up there?
And the child remembers nothing.
The child talked about someone feeding him. So the
Bigfoot.
I think of this as a Bigfoot snatching, but there's like this was televised on news reports because they looked for the child. When you see the photograph of the child, he's clearly.
So Dennis Johnson's
There we go.
2-year-old family.
Yeah.
Okay. Vanished in his family's camping. After days of searching, he was found alive miles away across rugged terrain and rivers that seemed impossible for a toddler to cross.
He was 2.
He was 2.
Yeah,
He could
that's
barely-
impossible. I was going to say, my nephew could barely, like, there's no way.
Yeah. Also, why would the kid just carry on going?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't make any sense. It would
At
just-
some point, surely he'd just be terrified and sit down and cry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just saying what I do.
You do.
No, but when you see the photograph of the little kid, when he was discovered, like he looks shell shocked, for want of a better term.
Yeah.
And he's been through it, but he also was so young that he can't really remember anything.
So all he talks about is someone fed him, but he doesn't really remember
Doesn't
anything
really
else.
remember anything. Also, a 2-year-old can't really describe things.
No.
Yeah.
It's sad.
But they are easy to pick up, though.
They are. He's little Dungarees.
From the Bigfoot's point of view.
Yeah,
It's easy pickings, isn't it?
so true.
Yeah, old people and kids. Folklore often depicts forests as liminal spaces where spirits or forces can take individuals. Native American tradition sometimes describes certain regions as taboo or dangerous due to the presence of malevolent beings. These cultural echoes align with the way missing 411 cases are told today. Are you a supernaturalist, or do you believe in any
Well, I was going to say that I think I immediately think of like a Midsummer Night's Dream where Puck is they do all sorts then, like turn
do
them
all
into an
sorts,
ass,
yeah.
like make them love each other. I can see how that might happen. For me, that would explain why you don't see anything because you can't see fairies as far as I know. Children sometimes can, but adults tend not to be able to, right?
most of the time. Although
So
Robin Williams and Hook.
yeah, but then you know how? So my husband, he has seen ghosts before. I have never seen one and would not like to. That's not on my bucket list. So you know how some people seem to be able to see things that other people can't? They just have that thing. If maybe that's the people that go missing. Like if you see one, they take you. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, the residents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's frightening. Has he seen one in your bungalow?
No, but part of I've said this to so many people and they're like, it's sleep paralysis. And listen, maybe it was, but it freaked me out enough that I was like, we have to move. When I moved in, he already lived in the flat in Croydon.
Okay.
When we decided, yeah, all right, we'll probably be together. I moved in. And after I'd moved in, he decided to tell me that quite a few times he had woken up in his sleep and an old lady had been stood in the bedroom doorway just staring at him.
Okay.
And he had decided the best way to deal with her was just to stay still until she went away. Why would you tell me that after I've moved in?
Maybe
Because
she
you
was-
wouldn't have moved in before.
Oh, that's so true.
Maybe she was like, buy my bungalow.
Yeah.
It's really cheap, has no
There's
central
no
heating.
radiators, but you can afford it. It's the only thing you can afford. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
And his mum always talks about when he was a baby, like he would be like, he would be talking to him. It's classic, terrifying children's story.
Yeah, yeah.
He's talking to no one. And she comes in like, who are you talking to? He's like, this old man. And she's like, what old man? Yeah. But he's not, in our house, he's never told me he's seen anyone. I think he probably wouldn't now because I'm always like, just please don't mention it.
I'd love it if him and his whole family were just playing a prank on you. And
Yeah,
then
they do.
just
I
start-
just get freaked out super easy. They're like, ooh, let's tell her.
They're just going to
horrible.
keep this ongoing
Yeah,
for
forever.
the rest of your life.
He's the opposite of the guy that appeared in the field who's never going to talk about
Yeah,
it. He's
yeah, no, he's
always
always talking
going
about
to
it,
talk about it.
That's awesome. Okay, so skeptics argue that in most cases these things can be explained. Some critics highlight the bureaucratic gaps. For example, when police tried to access records of missing persons in Yosemite, he was told no central list existed. Without standardized data, disappearances appear more mysterious than they may actually be. So I think one of the things about like, oh, it's a bit weird that they don't document missing people. Yes, but also we're assuming that the organisations have good admin, and we forget how many public organisations have shit admin.
Well, again, from all the true crime that I
From all
listen
the
to,
true crime,
it's
exactly.
pretty common
It is
for
pretty common.
police local police stations to not communicate and not have a way to know.
Yeah.
And that's how serial killers and all that in such a big country get away with it, because they can just keep moving states and there's no one to know.
Have you seen David Fincher's Zodiac?
Yeah.
I love that film so
Really
much.
great
And you
film.
see how the three different
Yeah.
police forces don't interact, and they kind of obstruct each other.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
And they're always fighting over whose jurisdiction it is. Like,
Yeah.
rather than, or maybe, I mean, I get it. I guess there's got to be boundaries somewhere, but it always seems to me like that is if you just had a system,
yeah.
wouldn't that help?
Yeah, you think, wouldn't you?
Surely by 2025 there is a way.
Yeah, you think, wouldn't you?
But I'm bad mouth in America. I don't think we're very good at it here.
No,
either,
we're
are
rubbish.
we? We don't. I mean, we're tiny, and if something happens
we
in
kind of
London, we
join
don't
up
know
like
about
one
it.
NHS trust to another. So like
Exactly. Yeah. Appointment letters go missing from one place to You'd think we'd be better at that.
I think we'd be better at it. It's true. Actually, one other thing to mention with this is that there, in some cases, the FBI turn up, and it's very, very rare for the FBI to. In fact, it's unheard of almost for the FBI to be involved in a missing persons case, unless it is a very, very young child, or they've got some sort of terrorism connection. But just a random individual going missing, the FBI are rarely involved. And yet, in some of these cases, and one of the things in the documentary that happens is they talk to people whose relative or friend has gone missing, and the FBI have turned up and they can't explain why that's happened. That's weird.
That is
Bigfoot.
suspicious.
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
So there are a couple of other theories. The phenomenon echoes myths of people being taken by spirits or vanishing into thin air, linking modern experiences to traditional storytelling, public awareness. The cases highlight gaps in data collection and search practices, raising awareness about the need for better preparedness in outdoor exploration, which is what you were saying, basically. So the missing 411 phenomenon occupies a fascinating space between fact and speculation, blending law enforcement casework with folklore, skepticism, and paranormal law. Examples like the disappearances of Dennis Martin, Stacey Ann Arras embody the mystery, showing how sudden vanishings defy easy explanation. Whether the result of natural hazards, institutional shortcomings, or something stranger, these cases continue to spark imagination and debate. In the end, the missing 411 is less about definitive answers and more about enduring questions. Reminders that even in the modern age, the wilderness retains its capacity for awe, danger, and the inexplicable. So, Elaine, are aliens or cryptids, Bigfoot basically, abducting people in national parks?
Can I go for secret answer C?
Go on.
I think it's interdimensional
Portals.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's people stumbling across a grid axis of some kind, falling through. That's why they completely disappear. And some of them reappear, like the portal opens up again elsewhere. Where in our world, sometimes it reappears, but unfortunately, wherever they've been through there wasn't enough oxygen or whatever. They're now no longer with us. And some of them are now on Mars or wherever that dimension opened up.
Cool.
That's what I'm going for.
That's what you're going for?
I have to go with Bigfoot.
You're going to, of course you go with Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
I'm going to go, they fall into sinkholes. I just think it's the most logical thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm not against that either.
Yeah.
I'm not against any of these theories, actually.
I think I prefer one of your theories to be true. I think it's cooler to be in another dimension or living with a family of Bigfoots than it is to fall into a sinkhole. I think it's an awful way to go.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very nice. Although, but it kind of depends what dimension you end up in.
That is true. Yeah. That is true. You want it to be a cool place.
Yeah, where you can breathe
Yeah.
and eat.
Because I've seen Total Recall and Mars is a bit shit.
Yeah, yeah. Even with what robot they got on there. They put a robot on there in the end, didn't they?
Yeah, they put a robot there.
Yeah.
Fell over.
It fell over.
We ran over a cat. We went into another episode. Anyway. Elaine, would you like to look at this camera, tell people where they can find you, follow you, all that sort of stuff?
You can find me on mostly just Instagram, actually. I'm at Elaine Fellows. I do have TikTok, but I'm not good at it. So, I mean, you can go on it if you want, but there will be nothing of interest for you.
Instagram, basically.
Instagram. Also, depending on when this comes out, I am building a website. Ooh. So maybe www.elainefellows.com.
Yeah.
Maybe live by the time you listen to this.
It's pretty exciting stuff. Pretty exciting stuff. Are you building it or somebody building it for you?
I'm very much a one-man band
like
doing
it.
it myself.
Love it. Rafting.
So, if you want to give me feedback on how good the website is, please don't give me feedback.
Don't do that.
It's bad.
Don't do that. No. Cool. Would you like a Bigfoot joke to end the podcast?
Yes.
Okay. Why doesn't Bigfoot abduct people with smartphones? Because he knows they'll just post another blurry selfie.
Nice. Very good.
Told her they were shit. That's it for the podcast. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Please give us a little 5-star rating wherever you get your podcasts. And if you'd like to help support us further, why not check out patreon.com/BelievePod for exclusive episodes, early access, and ad-free listening. Remember, we love you.